Howdy makers, this tutorial is to help folks build a game on the Microbit in MakeCode that is simulating a game or a toy that's been around for probably close to 50 years called the Magic 8 Ball. Here, the Magic 8 Ball is a ball that's filled with liquid, and you shake it up, and then a little die floats to the top, and it has different answers on it. So the idea is you ask a question, and it's supposed to tell your fortune. And you could see here it has many different answers. I'll give you a close-up of one. All the answers are either a version of yes, like this one, a version of no, or like either a maybe or ask again, something like those. So we're going to make the Microbit become like a Magic 8 Ball. So you're going to want to start in the MakeCode website, and you're going to want to click on the purple New Project button. This will use a lot of the same skills that we used to make our rock, paper, scissors game earlier in the week. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is have an input, something that you can do to make it answer your question. I think it would be fun, since you shake up a Magic 8 Ball, to make it so you shake the Microbit. So we're going to go into the input area and grab an on shake block here that we could put on other things inside of. Okay. Now, the second thing we need to do is to make a variable. We're going to ask the Microbit to choose a random number for us, and it needs a place to put that number. And that place, or the bag or container, is a variable. So let's make a variable, and I'm going to call mine 8 ball. 8 B-A-L-L. And you'll notice that when I make a variable, I get a bunch of other answers right here, or another blocks. I'm going to grab a set 8 ball 2 block and put it inside of the shake. Now, we want to set the 8 ball not to the number 0, but we're going to ask it to choose a random number for us. Now, we're going to start with a random number between 1 and 3, but if you want to add other possible answers later, you can. So the way we do that is in the math category. You did this before, where if we go into the math category, and we got to scroll down a bit here, and near the bottom, there's a pick random from 0 to 10. And you'll notice that that one is kind of a rounder shape. So it's going to go inside where the 0 is. You need to make sure it goes inside there. The best way is to put your cursor on top of where you want it. And I'm going to let go. And sometimes that can take a few tries. Okay, so we want to set the 8 ball to choose a random number. We're going to start from 1 to 3. Okay, so the first thing it's going to do is choose a number between 1 and 3 for us. So that's the first half. Now we're going to have to ask the computer to, if the answer is 1, then to say one thing. If the answer is 2, say another thing. And if the answer is 3, then choose a third thing. So that is going to be in the logic section. So it's right above variables. If you go into logic, if you remember from last time, there's an if, then, else block. So we want to grab one of those, not just the if block, but the if, then, else block. This helps a computer make a decision and teaches it how to make that decision. You're going to want to put that inside the shake block, but underneath the set 8 ball 2. And we're going to want it to say if the 8-ball equals 1. So to be able to get the equal sign, that's also in logic and down in the comparison section. So let's grab an equal sign and put it where it says true. And then lastly, we want it to say if the 8-ball is 1. So we got to go back to the variable section right here and grab one of these round 8-ball ones and put it where the first 0 is. This part can be tricky. And turn that into if the 8-ball equals 1. Okay? So if the 8-ball is 1, then let's have it say something. So that's up in the basic category. It's words or letters are considered strings in coding. So we want to grab one of these show string hello. But for the 8-ball, we don't want it just to say hello. We want it to say some version of yes. I'm just going to keep mine short and just have it say yes. You could have it say anything you want in a version of yes. It could be yes, yeah, absolutely, for sure, certainly, any version of that. Remember that on the real one is it says like as I see it, yes, or sometimes it says signs point to yes. But on the Microbit, it scrolls the letters by. So I like to keep my answers kind of short. Okay. So now we're going to want to click this plus sign down here to make another space. And there's going to be if the 8-ball is 1, then say yes. Else, if the 8-ball equals 2. Now we could build that from scratch again by going into logic and pulling out another 0 and going into variables and pulling the 8-ball in. But watch this. If you right click or 2-finger click on the equal sign of your first block, you can make a duplicate or a copy of this. And you'll see there, I can drag that into here. I just need to make sure that this says if the 8-ball equals, and this time it needs to say 2. So if the 8-ball is 1, then have it say yes. If the 8-ball equals 2, then have it show a string of no. Okay. And then else, meaning lastly, if it's not 1 and it's not 2, then what else could we have it say? We could go in and have it say something like maybe or ask again. I'm just going to write maybe in there. Okay. So we've got when we shake this, it's going to choose a number between 1 and 3, and then set the put that number in the 8-ball variable. Then it's going to ask a question. If the 8-ball was 1, then have it say yes. If the 8-ball was 2, then have it say no. And then anything else, it's going to say maybe. So you can either shake it manually or just press this shake button here at the top, and you can say maybe. Now, I forgot to ask a question. So I'll ask a question. Is it going to rain tomorrow? It has to be a yes or no question. And it says no. Okay. Am I going to get to eat ice cream for dinner tonight? Maybe. Okay. So now, if you want to have some more fun with this, you can do a couple of extra things. You could add in more answers. So we would want, let's say if we're going to do 4 answers, then I need to pick a random number between 1 and 3. You can add a 4th one, and then have another answer in there. So if the 8-ball is 3, I could put in another answer like ask again and have some fun with that. You can also have it do some sort of animation on a start if you want. You can try to put an animation in there. But to finish this up, all you need to do is to have 3 of the answers, okay? So when you're done with this and you're happy with it and you've tested it and it works, then don't forget to go to the share button up here, give it a name. I'm going to call this 8-ball, and then my name. I'm going to click on publish the project, and then I'm going to copy and then add that link, paste that in with Control V into your assignment and turn it in. Okay, I hope this helps.